Good morning. Good morning. I'm Black Dragon. Welcome to Black Dragon Biker TV. And as always, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in from wherever it is in the world you happen to be. Oh my goodness. What is going on with that? Hey, happy weekend. Happy Monday to you all. We had a great weekend this weekend. Today on Black Dragon Biker TV, this is crazy. I guess a lot of people expected this, but everybody suspected this maybe. But it has now been actually said in words by the Department of Justice. The Feds have now tied the deadly Interstate 45 shootings to what they call a Houston biker gang war. And they have associated the Homietos or Homietos. I never really knew how to say that word. I apologize to the club for not learning to say that word correctly. But it's either, I think it's either Homietos or Homietos racketeering case. They've tied this. This is really crazy. I don't know if you guys remember. Some of you guys will, back to 2023 when all this was going on. Also, a Long Beach man gets prison for mailing cocaine to a motorcycle gang. That seems crazy. Somebody actually mailed cocaine to somebody. We'll talk about that story. And then we'll have, of course, Tia on Redbone. She'll be talking about when a president's woman gets so involved in club politics that she tries to run the chapter. So join us as we discuss. We'll be back in a minute and 7 seconds with these new stories and others. Here we go. Feds tie Homietos to Banditos highway murder. Absolutely crazy. So we'll be back in a minute and 7 seconds right after this brief introduction.
Black Dragon Biker News. He's on YouTube. Black Dragon Biker News. Get yourself educated by his books and you'll learn how to move. Black Dragon Biker News. He covers it all. So click on the screen, hit subscribe to get updated Biker News with MC Protocol. A lot of phonies popped up when this YouTube Biker News craze came about, but the man on this channel is the first to do it and the only one that never sold out. His name's Black Dragon. Started the Navy and hit the sea, repping Uncle Sam. They traded that uniform for the best from the mighty Black Sabbath. Not the band, I'm talking about the mighty Black Sabbath MC. We're paid his dues and the artist stripes, from prospect all the way up to national peace. All the copycat creators and the content stealers and haters, there have been many, but there's only one larger than life. Like Michael with the cowboy hat, the nose kung fu and says kick Kenny. Black Dragon Biker News. He's on YouTube. Black Dragon Biker News. Just self-educated by his books and you'll learn how to move. Black Dragon Biker News. He covers it all. So click on the screen, hit subscribe and get updated Biker News with MC Protocol.
Biker TV, and as always, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in to the Black Dragon Biker News Network. Biker news you can trust. And as always, hey man, it's just great to have you guys here. Hey, what's up? Let me introduce, as we're the only Biker News and MC Motorcycle Protocol channel in the whole wide world, to have our very own Commissioner, District 2 Police Commissioner, the Honorable Lavish T. Williams. And of course, Tia Redbone Bunch. Yeah. Yeah! What's up? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
What's up, man? What's happening?
Good weekend, man. How are you doing?
Man, I'm doing all right, man. You know, unlike you having a PC computer, my Mac. See, I don't have all those inputs on a Mac. You know, the Mac, they have the USB-Cs, right? And you have to buy like gadgets like this to, to plug stuff in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And this thing cost like $110, man. And this thing took a crap. So I don't even have all my stuff hooked up because I need this. So now I have to get me like a new Thunderbolt type of hub, but the kind that plugs in with power.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that. And they do.
You actually have one on your computer?
I have one, but not for the same exact thing. But I have one because I have one of my devices uses that Thunderbolt because the device is for a Mac. So,
okay, gotcha.
To make it use it on my computer, I had to go backwards with that thing, and yes, it was a lot of money. Hey, Miklo, 1%er, man, thank you so much for correcting me on how to say that word, Homietos. Thank you for helping me with that. I appreciate that. Let's get to these stories right away, real quick. I know I don't have you for long, Lavish. So first of all, Lavish, tonight you've got a interview tonight coming on.
I got an interview tonight coming on with boss lady from Ladies of Hogs down in Houston, Texas. Me and her, we chopped it up last week. And we're going to get on this podcast tonight over on my YouTube channel. And we just going to kick it about their first annual. We're going to kick it about them ladies. We're going to kick it about the club. We're going to kick it about her. And I think it's going to be real great, man. She got a lot of energy. So I'm excited. I can't wait to get it out here, man, so people can engage in the live if they choose to. And we're going to have a lot of fun.
Are you going to talk to her about what she became like famous for? That whole thing.
Oh yeah, we're gonna bring that up too, man. We're gonna bring that up. We ain't gonna, that ain't gonna be the main topic, because things in the past since then. But we have to bring it up because that's when that's when I actually tuned in and said, man, who is this lady, man? So we definitely got to touch on that. But I ain't gonna dwell on it. I ain't gonna dwell too deep on it. But we definitely gonna touch on it. And talk about what's coming up, down the road with, her and her club.
Oh, man, that's outstanding. She's an outstanding woman, has done a whole lot. Very dynamic president. I can't wait to hear from her. And very, very confident, man. And her tribe is behind her for real.
Yeah.
So you'll get messed up messing with her. I'm telling you. All right, let's get over here. I see you, Mama Angel. Black Dragon, you still fool? Your Fogo review was great. Thank you. I took Tia to Fogo de Chao. So, you remember I told you guys I had the police in my office or at my office the other day beating on the door? Well, somebody had dropped off a stolen vehicle or something here.
It wasn't me.
And so my neighbor was very thankful to me. So he told me, he says, I want to buy you and Tia dinner. I can't. I don't have time to get you a reservation or something. He said, I'm going to give you the cash. You have to make me two promises. One is that if I give you this cash, you're going to go eat dinner, and two, you're going to go to my favorite restaurant, which he said was Fogo de Chao. So I said, yeah, give me the money, bro. And so he gave me the money, and we went to go eat there. And we did a review on it, and I tell you what, it was most amazing. But Tia only ate a plate of rabbit food. She only had a couple pieces of meat at the meat joint. It was so disappointing.
I'm trying to get away from eating meat. And so, we all want to live a long time. We want to be healthy.
Did you make this decision after you get married?
Yeah, after we got, come on, man.
I still cook it.
I'm just saying, Black Dragon, see, this is why I don't want to get married. When you get married, things change. Now she doesn't want the meat.
I think when you get married, you become responsible.
Well, listen to Lavish, baby.
When you get married, you become more responsible.
She wants to meet.
I did eat some.
Not, baby.
I enjoyed myself.
You enjoyed yourself. It was fulfilling, huh?
Boy, shut up.
Absolutely. It was a blessing.
I get it. I understand. Hey, you got to do what you have to do. I mean, you got to be satisfied, right? Everybody has to be satisfied.
Oh my God! Listen, Tia, leave him alone. This boy needs Jesus. All right, this morning, here we go. The Department of Justice, the seal of a podium of the Department of Justice. What we're looking at here. Hey, this is a crazy story. Lavish, were you with me when we did this? No, this was 2023. You weren't with me then. So there was a shootout in the Oklahoma City bar called the Whiskey, maybe the Whiskey Saloon, something like that, in Oklahoma City. In that, the Bandidos were accused of attacking a Homietos president, and he had one or two people with him. They shot up the place. He died in an exchange of gunfire, that president, during a reload of ammunition. And I think 3 Bandidos died, something like that. And there may have been another Homieto or not. I'm not sure how many Homietos died or were injured, but I remember that president passed. So fast forward, I don't know, a couple weeks or maybe a month or so later, however long it took for the funerals, there was going to be some funerals up there, and you had the Bandidos men riding their motorcycles alone. Each one of these guys was riding alone up Interstate 45, somewhere down, I believe, near Spring, Texas, or something like that, in that area. And they were shot off of their motorcycles. Now, I think 4 men were actually shot and 3 died, or 3 men were shot and 2 died. I don't remember exactly. This was 2023. We've done 100 stories since then, but several of the, at least 2 or 3 Bandidos were killed. They have never, since that time, now everybody suspected, oh man, this must be the Homietos. And there's been a war down there between the Homietos, the Brothers East, and the Bandidos, and this has been going on for a long damn time. But everybody suspected that this was who it was, or expected, or thought maybe it was who it was. But it has taken 3 years for them to finally come out, the feds, and they didn't name the whole motorcycle club. They've named one man so far. So that's this story. Feds tie deadly Interstate 45 shooting to Houston biker gang war in new Homietos racketeering case. So a shooting rampage that killed 3 bikers on Texas highways in 2023 was the work of the Homietos Outlaw Motorcycle Club and appears connected to a motorcycle gang war that raged across Houston, the Houston area, for years. As I just told you guys, state, federal, what did I say? Did I lose that? States a federal criminal charging document filed in Houston this week. The Justice Department filed new charges Thursday against a Joseph Roy Tequila Gomez, accusing him of participating in a racketeering conspiracy tied to the Homietos. The Gomez is among a group of Homietos members who in 2023 were accused of participating in a 2020 assault on a motorcycle club at the Sterling Banquet Hall in Houston. The new information expands the indictment to include other crimes, including a series of highway shootings on April 14, 2023. Around 11 a.m. on that sunny, humid Friday, motorcyclist William Kinnison, 32, was shot while riding north on Interstate 45 in Spring. I thought that's where it was. He died after being rushed to a hospital. Now, about an hour later, 40 miles north of Spring, 3 more motorcyclists were shot. So there were 4 on the highway near the statue of Sam Houston outside Huntsville. 2 of the men died, Andrew Cole and Ramiro Sosa. Now, authorities were quick to say that they believe the shootings were connected to the 2 clubs. back then. They said they believed it, but they never formally announced it. Now, Gomez is alleged to have been among a group of biker vets. Gomez is alleged to have been among a group of biker vest-wearing Homietos who shot down Kinnison, Cole, and Sosa. He's accused of brandishing a gun during the killings and helped dispose of the firearms that were used. He also is accused of participating in a meeting where Homietos allegedly discussed keeping information about the shooting secret. So that's conspiracy there, and all of that stuff going on with that. The charge argues that the shooting and other assaults were part of an effort to expand the Homietos' power, territory, reputation, and property. Now, if convicted of conspiracy, Gomez could be sentenced to life in prison for the conspiracy alone. So it talks about Bandidos biker gang war across Houston. It says the Homietos attack on the three Bandidos came during what the FBI has described as a biker gang war that was being fought in Houston from 2020 through 2024. So I guess the war is over now. Last year, the Justice Department announced charges against 14 members of a chapter of the Bandidos. Remember that? We talked about that, blaming them for a series of assaults and murders of rival gangs connected to the Brothers East, also known as Beast, or B-Star East. I've heard all of those names. But to the Brothers East, as well as the Homietos motorcycle clubs. But until Thursday's filing about Gomez, there had been little confirmation about the other side of that war. The new filing begins to connect some threads. According to Harris County Court records, Kinnison, one of the 2023 shooting victims, was in 2019 charged with felony retaliation along with another man, John Pfeffer. And we covered that story as well. It's just funny how all this stuff is going back around in circles. Pfeffer, who is also known as Big John to authorities, last year was alleged to have been the leader of the Welcome to Hell Bandidos faction, created just primarily to hunt down and kill Brothers East members. So who is the Homietos? According to a complaint, the Homietos were once a support club of the Bandidos, but broke away in 2017 and formed a new red and gray nation separate from the Bandidos. That was something I never knew until I read this. Initially recruiting members from the Tango Blast prison gang, the Homietos expanded their reach to include chapters in Oklahoma, Missouri, and Nebraska. As of Thursday, only Gomez has been charged with the conspiracy. The alleged Homietos members are scheduled to go on trial in June, according to court records. The rivals, the Bandidos, are scheduled to face a jury trial in May. Though on Thursday, lawyers representing some of the men asked for deadlines in that case to be pushed back 3 months. So that is an incredible breaking announcement. This is the first time in all those years that they've actually said who did this. This is something Joy said. It came after the Bandidos, I'm sure he meant to say, set up the Homietos in Oklahoma and had a shootout. They literally shot the guys from the shootout in Oklahoma. Yeah, we said that. If you're just getting on, we said that earlier in the beginning. That's what that shooting came from. But obviously, it had been going on for a long time. It had been going on for just a little while, longer than that. Tia, you keep going out. What's going on with you, man?
Everybody wants to talk.
Oh, calling you?
Yeah.
I'll show you how to make that where it doesn't happen no more. So anyway, that's that story. Okay, and our second story for this morning, a Long Beach man gets prison for mailing cocaine to a motorcycle gang. What is this? This is crazy. Do they mail this stuff in the mail? A Long Beach man was sentenced. Here, let me make this bigger so you guys can all see it. A Long Beach man was, I see. I thank you, Jay. Long Beach man was sentenced to more than 6 years in federal prison and 4 years of supervised release. What are they wrong about, Jay? Let us know what they're wrong about, what the Long Beach article is wrong about. Okay, back to this. A Long Beach man was sentenced to more than 6 years in federal prison and 4 years of supervised release. So that's 10 years after he admitted to mailing shipments of cocaine to a motorcycle gang in Connecticut. Wow, that's crazy. Did he really do that? Did he really mail? Jonathan Gordo Garcia, 37, was arrested in October 2023 and pleaded guilty August 11th to 1 count of conspiracy to distribute and 1 count of possession with intent to distribute 500 grams. On Wednesday, a federal judge in Connecticut now sentenced him to 78 months in federal prison and 4 years of supervised release. Now, since 2022, federal agents have been investigating a large-scale drug trafficking organization responsible for distributing kilograms of fentanyl and cocaine in Connecticut through wiretaps, electronic surveillance, and controlled purchases of narcotics. Investigators found out that the drugs were coming from sources in California through Mexico. Investigators also zeroed in on Garcia as a narcotics source of supply for the Loose Cannons Motorcycle Club in Hartford, Connecticut, according to court records. On one occasion, authorities say they obtained a video sent through WhatsApp. Okay, so WhatsApp is no longer an end-to-end closed communication source, people. That went away when they were bought by what's his name? Facebook guy. All of my friends that worked for Eris and Swanee at the time, a lot of those guys are Eris is, or rather Swanee is kind of like a little small hub of where people go that don't like a whole lot of government regulations and stuff. And all my friends that lived out there and worked out there, they all got rid of Facebook and WhatsApp, and they stopped using WhatsApp when Facebook bought WhatsApp. They just all got off of it, all of them. So it's true that WhatsApp is encrypted in the end, but whereas some of the things like Signal, I guess, and others they don't cooperate. All they got to do is get a warrant, and all of your communication is no longer secret. That's crazy. So that's how they go on a video sent through WhatsApp by one of the buyers to Garcia. That's crazy that someone would think they could do that. Apparently, that video showed the guy, Garcia, what type of cocaine the buyer wanted to get. He sent this picture and he said, "This is what I need," he wrote in a text message, according to the court records. And Garcia says, "The ones I have are like this," Garcia wrote back, according to court records. Did he send a picture back? That's crazy. Later, during the same exchange, Garcia allegedly wrote, "You will fall in love. Believe me, son. I don't have trash." Boy, he typed that shit out. Investigators learned that Garcia and Luis Soto Leon were coordinating the shipment of kilogram quantities of narcotics from Mexico to Connecticut. Prosecutors wrote Garcia would also travel to Connecticut to facilitate the transactions and to collect drug proceeds, they wrote. Court records contained surveillance footage of Garcia meeting with leaders of the motorcycle club on one of those trips. In February 2023, agents seized 2 packages that were mailed from a Connecticut post office to addresses in Southern California. One package contained $6,500 in cash and 2 new Apple iPhones. The other package had more than $38,000 in cash. I've been told that you should never mail money because that it doesn't make it through the post office anyway. Like, I've been told that post office people may take your money. I've been told that. I don't know if it's true. I got a lot of ex-military friends working at the post office. They're like, "Hell no, Black Dragon, that bullshit is not true." Oh my goodness. But I haven't sent any money to the post office because of that fear. Investigators also determined that Loose Cannons MC were receiving shipments of fentanyl and cocaine to distribute throughout Hartford, Connecticut in the mail. Garcia is currently out on bond, but must report to prison on April 22nd. Oh, that's nice. Wow. Okay, you can be out till April 22nd, so you got 2 months to get your SHIT together and then come on. Man, I'd be in Paris or something. Hell no. Prosecutors say Garcia also had a past cocaine trafficking conviction from 2017, so he hasn't learned anything. He was sentenced to 25 months in prison and 36 months of supervised release for that offense. So your boy's just wilding out, man, out there making that living. Lavish, you were pretty tough in your day too, huh? You didn't learn the lesson, or did you? Are you there, Lav?
You said what now?
I said you were pretty tough in your day out there. Did you learn your lesson?
As far as
just being wilding out there, just a bad guy.
I mean, I learned my lesson a lot. My bad guy wasn't just bad because I was bad. It was just hustle, man. It was just hustle and about the money, man. It wasn't about the tough guy. It was about getting the money. But did I learn my lesson with life? Yeah, because everything that I was doing illegal to make illegal financial gains.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I figured out a way to do the same thing legally without the risk. That's the thing. How can I still make the same type of money that I can make fast money, illegal, doing it illegally, legal? The difference is, one, you constantly watching over your back, you taking losses, and you paranoid, and you're looking out the window and you're like, oh man, something can happen down the street. And your heart beating because you think they coming for you, man. And then when you find a way to do whatever you was doing illegally on a legal level, I say, yeah, you learn your lesson. You definitely learn your lesson.
So you now take cars legally.
I'm doing the same thing that I was doing before. It's just legal.
Before, but it's legal now.
Yeah. That's it.
Do you use some of your old trade craft to get cars now?
No. So to be honest with you, I don't talk about it. Not that I'm ashamed of it. I just never talk about it because you have so many different people that look at me in a certain light, younger. And when they hear the old head guys, because I'm considered the old head guys, they want to ask about all of the bad. And they want encouragement on how to do bad. So I don't talk about that too much. Instead, I'll talk about the positive. Because what do you do when you're an up and coming dope boy, right? You go find you an old dope guy and you be like, hey, so how do you do this? And how do you cut that up? And how do you move that? And now you got the old guy helping this young guy continue to do illegal stuff. I don't like to talk about that kind of stuff because I feel like I could be in a position where I'm helping some young kid do some more wrong when he can figure out a way to do right. So have I learned my lesson? Yes, because I can sit back and then I can do this. I can open up my book. I could say, man, go ahead and do whatever you want to do because
or you can go ride your horses that you own or go float on your boat or go look out a new airplane you're trying to buy or stand over.
Yeah, because you can provide.
You're a rich millionaire.
I'm not none of that. But what you can do, what you can do, you can legally. Hold on. You can legally show where your income comes from. See, when you're on the street and you get pinched and you have a lot, they seize it. You got to show where the money come from.
They seize it?
Yeah, they seize it, then they forfeit it. Because you got to show where this money come from.
The government takes your stuff. I didn't know that. No,
because you're using it for illegal transactions.
It sounds
You're not
like
paying no taxes on
what are
this
they going
stuff.
to do with your boat? What the hell are they going to do?
They're going to sell it.
Oh
At
my
an
God.
auction, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Or that's why you see when you see the police and you see they forfeit cars and they use these cars for other stings and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That's where that comes. But when you legit, you don't really have to worry about that kind of stuff no more. So do you learn your lesson? Yes, but it also you also got to have teachers and mentors and people around you to encourage you.
Oh man, that's something else, man.
Yeah,
That's
I like
something
that,
else.
Lavish.
Yeah, well, he listen. That's why he's here. That's why he's here. Damn it! All right, here we go with this.
What a grand season it is for Douglas County, Georgia, as a community. I am Richard D. Stapleton, and I have been called to run for your corner of this wonderful county. This week, with great honor of Medical Legal Death Investigators Week, I marched into the Douglas County Elections Office at our county courthouse with extreme excitement to declare my intentions legally. I have worked all my adult life in some form of law enforcement, to include nearly 4 years at the Douglas County Coroner's Office. While there, I sought training above the standards that were set, ultimately leading me to become senior deputy coroner of our community. I was influential in making the coroner's office better than it was prior to my arrival in 2020. In this season, I have accepted that I am called to do over and beyond to bring resurgence back to the office of Douglas County Coroner. I have seen and I have heard the concerns of our community for better care in regards to those who have met death in our growing county. 2028 will approach us fast. I simply ask for you to trust my continued dedication and activism leading up to the election in November of 2028. Please follow me on my journey as I, Douglas County candidate for coroner, Richard D. Stapleton, aim to continue my passion towards being the voice for the voiceless of our community. This message was paid for by Community for Stapleton.
A voice for the voiceless. He's a biker, belongs to a club here in Georgia. So
born losers.
Yeah, yes, born losers. And so if you're a biker here, or if you're a biker in Georgia, we need more bikers. We need more of our folks out there looking out
high places.
and high places, looking out for us. So the voice for the voiceless. He's out there. If a person's been murdered or whatever, doesn't have a voice, he'll be that voice and track down those people responsible and put them away. Or maybe the coroner doesn't do that. Maybe the coroner just tells you how they died, and then everybody else does all that. Christy called out on the real truth. I saw it this morning. Listen, man. You guys get away from me with that. I don't want to hear it from. I don't want to hear nothing a 20-year-old has to say about a 60-year-old. Get out of here. Of course, the government is going to take everything. They have been doing it from day one. All empires were stolen. Oh wow, we're going there. We're going there this morning. Okay, so now a short morning for today, but our brief question today, or thing, MC protocol thing. We've been doing that since our brother Wu is on. He had to go to work early today, so we didn't have Wu on this morning. But the question we have today, what, Lavish, you're the president, and your wife has gotten herself into a position where she's running the club, or people keep complaining of that. Tia, what happens? I mean, what's going on when the wife feels like she should be calling the shots, and her weak ass man lets her do that? I
mean, that's just what it is right there. The weak guy right there gave this woman too much power, filled this woman's head up too big. She feels like she has all this power, and that's stemming from him. It all falls back on him. He made this woman feel in such a way that, hey, she can do what she want to do. I'm the president's girl. He gave me this power. I'm this. And then when she's demanding and putting things out and people are going along with it and he's approving it, or when something doesn't go the way she wants it to go and she goes back and tell him about it, and he goes and justify it and make it right, she's giving him the power. Simply as that. Yes, he's giving her the power, and it simply falls back on him being weak. And not just him, the body for not standing up against that. Because guess what? The president is just the guy who's the spokesman of the club in so many different ways. But if you got a weak body, it's going to tear the whole club around. The body can vote to have that president removed at any time. You just got to have a strong body that's going to sit up here and say, hey, we don't want this body in here.
Strong, but because
the body has to be strong.
Because presidents can surround themselves. I've seen it. It happened in my own club. Presidents can surround themselves with goons and little dukes and earls. And once they surround themselves with them guys, the body might not be strong enough to remove the president.
Well, what happens is the president makes sure he surrounds himself with the weakest of the weakest so that he can take over the majority of the vote whenever it has to happen. I've seen that happen. You know what I'm saying? The presidents sometimes put a chokehold on certain individuals, and he calculates, hey, I know if something goes wrong and I need to vote, I got the majority of the club over here that's going to be in my favor, except for possibly, and I'm just saying this doesn't necessarily mean it's the truth, but I feel that it is. Unless you're in a bigger club where you have a lot of the retired nationals or the retired members come out when it's like a big issue and they like, hey, we got to intervene and step in. President, you're not doing this right. And it becomes, a bigger issue, but it still falls back. That man is giving that woman too much power. And I don't know how every club is set up, so I can't speak on how this club is ran or how that club is ran. I can say for my club, we're not giving a woman that much power. And it's not because we're screw that woman. It's just that's the way our club is operated. Only power you're gonna get is go tell your sponsor, whoever's patch you're wearing about the problem so he can address it or fix it or whatever the case might be.
Tia, what makes a woman feel like that should be something she should be doing?
Lavish just said he gives her too much power. But what if the woman is very influential in a lot of the decisions he makes? What if he becomes a better president because of listening to? So we all have to be counseled by somebody, like you just said, like Lavish just said, when you're in the hood, if you, whatever it is that you want to do in life, attach yourself to somebody that's already doing it and ride the wave. So your man is your investment. Just like a child, you invest in a child by putting braces in their mouth, by sending them to good schools, by, educating them, teaching them really good things, right? A man is no different. So my husband is my investment. That's why I want to live longer. I got to be strong to take care of him because I know that he's called to do the work that God wants him to do. So with that, he had to be very selective in who he chose to be on his arm. And normally, let's just start. Normally when people call dragging, I get up. That's my time to go cook or shower, whatever. I don't even want to hear what's going on in you all's world, the politics and stuff like that. I think where probably in our relationship where he may give me a certain amount of power to just say, be who I am on his show is because he trusts my judgment. So a lot of times you see Black Dragon, you don't know that in order for him to not go over a cliff, maybe his wife told him, go to the right, swing to the right real fast. And he swung to the right real fast and he survived. So he learned to trust her. And she is his counselor.
Okay,
and
so
when, there's times when, where does the lion go?
So
If he's the top,
I think that that's
the
like
wise
I
one.
think that's two different things.
yes, I was going to say that.
Is
I
it?
say that because I think that a woman knows how to keep the balance of her guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing. But then a woman being out here feeling as if she's in control of a club or organization or that power in an organization. I think those are two different things. I think that a man might talk to his woman to get advice or a comforting voice, and that's one thing. That's a me and you. That's a bedroom conversation. That's a car ride conversation. That's a I'm putting something together and I want your feedback on this. But then when you have a club and you're trying to operate a club and a woman is becoming bigger than the program, then that's a problem.
Mm-hmm. So what? Yeah. So what we're talking about is more like stuff we see. You know, you've never really been
I
like
was about
that.
to say, I
Yeah.
really can't really talk on that angle.
Yeah,
You
you've never
know, I
been
can
like
only
that.
talk on the angle that, like I just spoke upon. Like somebody might say I talk too much or I know too much or whatever, but I don't even want to hear about the things that happen in these clubs because it hurts. It hurts, and I don't want to lower my vibration for something that I don't have no control over.
But
But
that's what, yeah. I mean, but you know, the woman not being in the club shouldn't even know what's going on in the club. You know,
but lavish.
it happens. I know it. It happens.
If your
I'm just
husband
saying.
is
The club even does it. Shaggy said, Uncle Shaggy says, stop the pillow talk.
That's where I was going. That's where I was going next. I'm glad you said it. I can't see the comment, but I'm glad you said it. That's where it comes, the pillow talking, because what happens for what I've seen, I can't speak on a married husband and wife. I'm speaking on these men and these women that's just going around sleeping amongst each other. And while they out here pillow talking, you get one person that's saying one thing, pillow talking, and then that conversations get told to somebody else. And now your club business is traveling from this person to that person. And man, you heard what happened to this and that, and your business is out there. And then when you come back and you say, hey, somebody's in this room talking, everybody gets quiet.
Is that you
everybody
trying to
gets
come in
quiet.
on a Mac? Is that you?
No, that's not me, sir.
This is not you?
No.
I wonder who the hell that is. How'd they get this channel? Interesting. We're being rated by something. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah. No, I gotta actually get out of here, man. I gotta get my kid to the dentist, man.
That is crazy. Somebody, I don't know how they got the.
Well, somebody got the link, sir. I don't know. Somebody got the link.
You
But
gave me the link. Okay.
I'm about to get up out of here, y'all. I gotta take my kid. I gotta go be a dad. I gotta take my kid to his the dental appointment or whatnot, man. So I hope y'all have, y'all finish this discussion.
Oh, I know who that is. That's okay, MacGyver. All right. So listen, thank you so much, man, for coming. And I know you had to get your kid out. And I know you had to give us a short time. Thank you for coming and as always and giving us that time. So get out here and go do that, young man. Very proud of you as always.
Have a good day.
Yep. See y'all.
So yeah, we have a short show today, and we're glad to be able to get on here and get out. But yeah, Tia, what we were more looking at is, and you've never been this person, and so that's probably why. So some of these clubs where the woman actually has far more participation. And a lot of people say, well, she shouldn't be in club meetings. They're not. They're not in club meetings. You don't see them in club meetings. They're not in church, but they still have a sway on the club that comes directly from them, that comes out of church, because members talk to them. Not only do members talk to them, but the husbands talk to them. The wives talk to them. A lot of women and husbands and members that want to influence me will go to you. And it's not always the pillow talk. Uncle Shaggy 1%er. It's good to see Shaggy 1%er Invaders MC on.
Yeah, hey Shaggy.
It's not always the pillow talk, Uncle Shaggy. Sometimes it's the members trying to sway the president, or the wives trying to sway the president. They'll go to his softer side and tell him shit that they shouldn't be talking about, so that she will initiate the pillow talk to tell you, hey, you need to be softer, you need to be kinder, you need to be gentler. Or in one case, we saw it where in one of my chapters we had a cold-blooded mini Dragon's Lair with stripper poles and everything in it. It was the Purple Room, and the wives got after the president, and they went after his wife until one day, the Purple Room, the Boom Boom Room, became a workout room, and it was like, man, you got to be.
Oh, I'll never do that. I'll never do nothing like that.
I know you. I know you just you'll just revolt and not show up. If you don't like the Dragon's Lair, you just won't go in it. Can you come hang out with the dragon? No, hell no, I'm never going in there. So that's more what you would do. But they changed the whole damn complexity of the club. And I was a single guy back then. I couldn't imagine not having a boom boom room. I was anyway, and I just wanted to know what makes women want to get to a point where they insert themselves like that and make themselves and their husbands.
In your experience and all this, have you ever experienced that where, because your club was almost co-ed, you guys had the Sisters of the Cross, they rode bikes too, so you guys did things together, which I really liked about that club. I don't know if I could really support you in this if you were like in an all male club, but because I became sisters with those sisters, it made that relation. It made my dealings with the club so much better. I love my sisters, and I look forward to going and hanging out with them. But have you experienced that where a woman
were an auxiliary portion of the Black Sabbath, and the goddesses and the ladies auxiliary? Those were auxiliaries. Wasn't a co-ed club. It was a male club, but it had female attachments, and those were called auxiliaries. And yes, so you absolutely had the ability to be friends with the women and have that sisterhood with them, and that's why it was created in that fashion. So, but yeah, I have seen it. Where in the club, because of the women's auxiliaries, I have seen the women band together, especially the wives will band together. So we have two or three kinds of things going on in the club. And one is that you have the young men, and then you have the single men, and then you have the older men, and you have the married men, and then you have the single old men, the single young men. So you got single people, young people, old people, married people, and unattached people, and all in the same club, and to varying degrees. So you got the Full Patch Brothers that run the club. You got the Women's Auxiliary, the Sisters of the Cross MC, and the Goddesses MC. All of this, are the Goddesses Social Club. All this together under one umbrella. And so I have seen the women band together to like get rid of the trollops and the loose women that they considered trollops. So there would be married goddesses that want to get, so like the men would, and then we also had properties too. So maybe the women didn't like the married goddesses, or the married goddesses didn't like the single ones, or a lot of times single unaccompanied women would fall into the club and get a sponsor, or whatever the case may be, and the women would turn against that one or two or five or six. So we dealt with a lot. Whereas a club that doesn't deal with women at all whatsoever, period, probably doesn't have those things to go through. But anyway, Uh, um,
Do I control you? Do you think I control you as far as this MC is concerned? Because I would hate, but Lavish is not married. So, like you said, I'm glad you made that point about the single men, the married men. When you marry, that's why he said, I don't want to get married. But you cannot sit in that seat right there and tell me that being married didn't improve your life.
yeah, we're not talking about all that. I mean, of course, being single, being married has improved my life, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about motorcycle clubs, and we're
So
talking
with
about
a
what goes on in
motorcycle,
a motorcycle club, and no unaccompanied, no unmarried, no full patch member in good standing wants to hear a damn thing about what
I know, I get it now because he said
what
that.
a woman that's not voted in the club has to say, and they expect you to keep that out of the clubhouse, out of the decisions. I don't care if your wife doesn't like the boom boom room. Why are we even talking about this?
And I understand, and I think they should determine that before he even brings her into that world. Like you told me about our anniversary when if you want to go to San Diego, you really didn't want a problem with that, and I didn't have but it's our anniversary is Valentine's Day, so that's why I said I don't have a
And I
problem with
told
that.
you to pick another day, and you said
You sure
no.
did, but I wanted that day, so we're just gonna have to
Like
learn how
so
to
if
incorporate.
I've ever got to go back to San Diego during that time, I don't want to hear no noise because
I
this is something
wouldn't, and
I've
you
been
know
doing
me.
my entire life, and
You
I'm
know
not
me.
fixing to change it up tomorrow because I told you to pick another day, and you still pick that day. So some years, I imagine, we'll have Valentine's Day.
We're gonna put a pin in this and
Let's put a
continue
pin
it
on this.
after the show.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of you, Tia.
It's a Mrs. Bunch.
Oh, Lord Jesus. In the comment section, these guys are going on and on about George Christie. And we now have Vegas profile stories on. And, I think this is a conversation we could all have in a show, Vegas, together, because I just don't want to hear that shit. I just don't want to hear the 25 years later paintbrush painted across a man. I don't care what paperwork you have or think you have or whatever the case may be. A lot of times, you guys have to remember, and I've said this before, Vegas, that when you're trying to paint somebody with a 2026 paintbrush, and they were looking at things through a 1977 lens, I've seen this happen in clubs before. I've seen this happen in my own club. And like the Me Too movement, I mean, there was this one guy who he was a Kennedy relative, and he was accused of raping and killing a girl when he was 15. And he was able to not go to prison until recently. If he had gone to prison then, he probably would have done 6 or 7 years and been out. But when he went to prison now, you get life without the possibility of parole. What's the difference? The difference is the lens and the prism by which things are seen. I guess his attorney wasn't able to argue, hey, man, if he did it back then, punish him like you would back then. It doesn't happen that way. People are looking at, like if you think of the Me Too movement, that there was no Me Too movement in 1979. So when you ask a prosecutor, well, why didn't you prosecute that guy? Because you couldn't get somebody prosecuted for that back then. It would have been seen as silly. So I was going with the times. This is how things go. So when I'm looking at old guys and I'm trying to figure out what they did, I have to kind of look at things from the perspective of what they were seeing at the time. And if you ain't doing that, then I don't think you're being fair.
That's true.
So I I think that you don't necessarily have the right, especially if you're not in our motorcycle club world. And some of you guys that are coming on and doing these, like Bill Stacks and all these guys. You're not in our world. So a lot of the times you guys are coming with rah stuff, because you can't talk about the nuances of being in our world. So you can only talk about the low hanging fruit. Is this guy a rat? Does this club have transvestites in it? That it just this. You can't talk about the granular stuff that happens in MCs like we talk about every day, like the conversation we just had. You'd never be able to talk about that. So all you can do is bring to your reality shows drama and down talk people that have been heroes in our culture. And what for? Views and likes and clicks. I guess we all do it for that. Absolutely. I'm here on for views and likes and clicks too, because views and likes and clicks equal dollar bills for me and for you guys too. But there's also a dedication and a love I have to this. And I'm not trying to destroy everything we had great, because everybody has issues and problems. And while you're calling him a rat, can you talk about the absolutely incredible things he did for his MC, and that we're able to see? There are a lot of guys in his club that don't like him, but there's a lot of guys in my club that don't like me. But what they can't take is the fact that I got a mom and pop organization and made it a national motorcycle club in just a few years. And all the shit you want to talk about a guy. And I guess since I'm a guy that those lies and fake paperwork and shit gets spread on, I'm just probably a little peculiar and sensitive to that. So that's how I feel about that. And we could have a show on that and talk about it. I don't like what you guys do to I just don't like that. I'm not a fan of that. And yeah. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's how I feel. Why
You
don't
gotta
you interview
stand on
George
what you
Christie?
believe.
I think I will reach out. I don't really know how to get in touch with George Christie, but I would actually, I would like to interview him. I ain't no rat. I ain't no chumma. Facts over feelings, BD. Get your feelings, homie. My big lock joker. Always good to see you two today. I wish I had some good marriage advice for you, BD, but I suck at it bad. I don't know if I suck at it bad yet or not. I've only been at it a few weeks now. We'll see. All right. That's our show for today, right at 58 minutes. The lovely Miss Tia Bunch. I'll let you get out of here first.
Oh, happy Monday. Let's go get this money and love on who love on you, support who supports you, and stay healthy and stay free.
I appreciate that. And for me, it's not feelings, it's facts. I think that I think you guys should lighten up there, especially all you big time. I saw that happen with that one lady, Wendy. She spent a career dissing and jumping on everybody's stuff. And then when her stuff got raggedy, because we're all human, when her stuff was raggedy and her husband was cheating on her, this, that, and the other, all of a sudden she became the news that she'd been dishing out. Be careful. Be careful out there. That axe swings both ways. It swings both ways. Anyway, I'm Black Dragon. I'll have more information for you guys with my upcoming things. Since I slept late this morning, I was a little bit sick last night. I don't have everything prepared like I want, but I know you guys are chomping at the bit. You want to know more about the Insane Dragons and the relaunch of the Black Sabbath Motorcycle Club in Georgia. So I got much more to tell you guys about in the coming days. So bear with me. I'm old and juggling a lot of balls, but we got a lot more coming. Vegas said he couldn't make a video for almost 2 years without mentioning me or Rob. He earned this smoke. Oh wow, I don't know Vegas about that. Give me a call. Give me a call if you don't mind, and we'll catch up. All right, I'm Black Dragon. That's my 2 cents. Love to hear your 2 cents in the comment section below. Thanks for tuning in, and get skinny. And let me see, where's this button at? Man, I be missing my buttons here. Okay, that button. Oh, anyway, maybe you guys should spend a little money.
Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money.
Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Hey, I'm Black Dragon. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in, and get skinny. Peace. Swoosh.